So how do we do more of this? Because, like, you know, you're part of the pop culture of a city like London, right? You're a leader in a place like London, and we see what's happening divisively, and you know, the Euros last month. I mean, it was like, what the? But we all knew it was going to happen, and it was like, how do we fix it? Yeah. So for those of us on the sidelines who haven't been through we have had the privilege of not going through that journey ourselves, but are learning about it and then trying to play our part. What are the tools and tactics? Is it, other than learning, is it like standing up creatively like you do, joining the conversations wherever we can? Is that your sort of how you try and bring people along?
Yeah. So I think one of the reasons that there is a to your point, a lot of the reasons that there is a pushback against conversations around race is that a lot of people who aren't fully experiencing it think that if you say something, you're accusing them of being racist. Now, for me, I tend to look at race from a structural point of view. What are the laws and the policies and the systems and the behaviors and the cultures that have been developed that will allow you to behave in a certain way? You may not even be fully aware of it, but allows you to treat somebody different. But then I take it back a step and I go, what does it look like to just be kind? What does it look like to just be compassionate to somebody, even if you don't agree with them? So, you know, this plays out, and I will say in my work, last year it showed up in Black Lives Matter, where a lot of my work, difficult conversations came up there. But then after that, with COVID, there was a lot of hatred against Asians. And then more recently, there was all the stuff around Israel and Palestine. And before that, there was Me Too. And then there was Pride. And there's so many intersections where all we just need to do is just be kind to people and step back a moment and go, when I'm thinking about this, if somebody was to approach me as an individual and take one of my characteristics or the way that I see the world and blow it totally out of proportion or treat me unfairly, how would I respond? And when I look at the world through that lens, I go, let me just be kind. So there are some times where I will use rage and I will speak quite forthrightly, but not rage in an extent that it's violence. It's just getting the, injustice. It's rage against injustice. It's rage against unfairness. But then also going, okay, so now that I've done that, how do we start to fix it in the small way that we have? And to your point, if it doesn't necessarily affect you directly, you're not going to know about that. But sometimes, it is about immersing yourself in those spaces. For me, when I worked with the LGBT plus community, I went to clubs, I started to go to Pride, I started to talk to individuals just to find out what their experience was. When I was doing Me Too, I started to talk to women about the experiences that they had around everyday sexism or how the world was set up to not in their favor. So part of that was just a journey of discovery, not trying to take their voice away, but trying to be able to understand it. But it always comes back to being, how can I be kinder? How can I listen to somebody's conversation without trying to fix them or without trying to agree with them disagree with them because I don't understand it? But at the heart of what it really is how can I be kind and how can I be a lot more compassionate?
It's a beautiful answer and a wise one.